Hi, I'm Amy, and I want to share with you a funny story. It was super frustrating at the time, but it's a funny story now, and I go back to it in my mind a lot to remind me of how the manifesting process works. So, I don't know, 7 years ago, I ended up getting a free trip to Hawaii. Very long story, but it was very last minute. It was so last minute that I heard about it the night before, and I was on a plane the next morning. And So I did not sleep all night. So I get on this flight. It's like a 9-hour flight. And the plane was pretty full, but I somehow ended up with a seat next to me, which I'd been focusing on. I really wanted a seat next to me because I wanted to sleep. So I'm so excited. I'm going to sleep all the way there, and I'm going to enjoy my trip when I get there. And I had a little pillow and my eye mask, and I curled up in the seat next to me with a blanket and all this kind of stuff, and went to sleep right after we took off. And about 5 or 6 minutes later, some guy taps me on the shoulder and wakes me up and is like, "Excuse me, I'm gonna sit here," in the seat where my head is. And I was like, "Okay." So I sit up because I'm not gonna cause a disturbance on the flight. And he sits down. He's very tall, and he's explaining to me why he has to sit here because I have an economy plus seat with extra legroom. And he's like, "I am so tall and I can't sit in my seat because there's not enough legroom, and they were supposed to put me in one of these seats, and da 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 da." I was like, "Okay, great, fine, whatever." I desperately needed to sleep. So I was in this place where I was in resistance to the fact that I couldn't sleep. So I got this really smart idea where I was going to ignore him, fine, whatever, accept the situation as it is. And so then I leaned up against the window because it's on the window. So I readjust myself with my blanket and my eye mask and my pillow, and I lean up against the window. And this guy will not stop talking to me. "It's his birthday," he says, "his 50th birthday today, on the flight." And he's all excited. But he's not just excited "let me tell you how wonderful my life is." He's excited in "let me tell you how much I need this vacation because my life sucks" type of conversation. "My girlfriend ran off and did this and all this kind of stuff," right? And she has some sort of venereal disease and all. I'm like, oh my God, I cannot deal with this for the next 8.5 hours. So, like any normal human being, I explained to him I would like to sleep. "Thank you. I'm so glad. Happy birthday. I'm going to go to sleep now." It just doesn't register with him. He just keeps talking. Talking, wanting me to participate. And we're just in two seats. It's just the window seat and the aisle seat, and that's it. And I'm trapped. So I explained to him that I get smarter. He shouldn't sit there because this is a higher paid seat, and he should really run it by the flight attendant. So I call a flight attendant over, hoping she will help me. And she's like, "Oh, it's totally fine. I understand your long legs." And I'm like, "Lady, come back here, help me." So he's all, smug about it. And this goes on for a while, maybe about 20-30 minutes, where I got up out of the seat wanting to go to the bathroom. But really, I went and found another flight attendant. And I was like, "You need to move this guy away from me because he, is being a problem." And I don't remember what I said, but I was trying to be polite and not be a problem myself. And I noticed there was an empty seat with tons of legroom because it had 6 feet of legroom because it was right by the door near the bathroom. So I went back to him and I'm all like, "Hey, Mr. Daddy Long Legs, there is a seat up there you could go sit in. Why don't you go sit over there? It'd be great." And I go to sleep. And he's like, "No, I like talking to you." And I'm like, "I don't know why you would like talking to me because I'm not enjoying the conversation." So I then closed my eyes, let him talk, and I started doing some manifesting processes. I imagined him leaving. I imagined him sitting somewhere else. I imagined myself sleeping in the seat. I did all this stuff. I dealt with my resistance. I did all this stuff, right? Still, his butt sits there. So I got to this point where I was like, "You know what? This man is going to sit next to me all the way to Hawaii, and I am not going to sleep. And I have to stop trying to change it because now I'm even more frustrated than trying to change it and not able to do it." So I immediately accepted my circumstances exactly as they were, right? I accepted that they were this way and they were probably not going to change, and I let it be exactly as it was. This is a key point in what letting go and detaching is. I let the circumstances be as they were, and because I did that, I stopped trying to change them externally by talking to flight attendants and talking to him, and internally by stopping to do processes. I then made a different decision. Well, if I'm not going to do that, I'm going to accept what is. How am I going to deal with what is? So I started thinking in a different direction, and I started to have these thoughts like, well, you know, you've been awake for many hours at a time before. It's not the end of the world. You can sleep when you get to the hotel. Sure, it'll throw your week off, but it's not like you're never going to sleep again. You can rest. Your body can rest even though he's talking. Like, you can, you know, find something else to distract yourself in the meantime. And you can deal with this. You can survive this. And I started to feel better because I was like, not ideal. It's not what I wanted, but I could survive it. Sure, I could. Within 5 minutes, he got up and went to the bathroom. And a flight attendant came by, one of the ones I talked to, and she was like, ma'am, I just wanted to let you know that, you know, you didn't purchase the seat, so that's why we let him sit there. Because she knew I was frustrated. And I'm like, oh, well, yeah, I know that, and that's not what I meant, like, you know, and she was like, well, what's going on? And I don't remember what I said, but she responded with, oh, he's being a jerk. And I'm like, yeah, kind of. I'm like, you know, he just keeps talking, all this kind of stuff. I don't know what possessed her, but she grabbed his bags from under his seat, and when he came back, she was like, sir, I have this lovely seat for you up here, and moved him. And I curled up in the seat and went to sleep and slept the rest of the way to Hawaii. So my point of telling you this story is acceptance of what is very important. So sometimes we think like, it's my job to change the circumstances externally. No, it's not. It's my job to change my vibration internally. Well, yes, it is, but at some point you have to stop doing that and accept that it isn't currently changing. And that's when the universe moves into action. And I don't remember exactly how that conversation went because it was a while ago, but I do remember whatever it was that her and I talked about after I had accepted it wasn't going to change. I naturally said something to her that caused her to understand what was really going on, and she moved him. So I always remember this story, and I always am like, how am I going to get the person next to me to move? Oh, that's right, I'm not. I'm going to accept that they're not going to move, and then the universe will move them. And that's how I think about manifesting as I go forward. It was such a great story. Anyway, I wanted to tell you this. I'm human, obviously. I have human emotions. I have human experiences. I get frustrated, and it's totally okay. So that's why I want you to know you don't have to get rid of your negative emotion. And just be aware that you can have what you want, but it is not your job to totally change everything. It is your job to sometimes do the vibrational work and then accept that it hasn't changed yet. That's how it works. Happy manifesting. I hope this story helps you as much as it's helped me over the years.